Guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video. It is official, the ETH merge has succeeded, everything is done, everything works well. To be honest, I was expecting a little bit of a sell the news event. That didn't happen so far. We're just going sideways. We're also not pumping, and we also have no crazy pumps and dumps during the Asian session. It's actually just very quiet, and everything succeeded somewhere I think 7 or 8 a.m. In Europe in the morning. So all went well, and yesterday we also had a very quiet sideways days after a major dump, and that is very much to be expected. After you usually have a ferocious move to the downside, the price goes a little bit sideways to consolidate, and now 2 days later slowly trading opportunities are rising again. So we are going to look at what is interesting. Also we have a quick look at ETH. It's been a long time since we did that, but now after the merge maybe it's interesting to see if we can find some trades there. If you find this interesting and you like this kind of content, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think that's useful. Feel free to also follow me on Twitter and Instagram, where I update you multiple times a day. And lately on Twitter has been absolute a joy for you if you've been following me there, where I have a lot of updates. And I want to start off actually now with Twitter today. Because yesterday we saw something crazy suddenly. Do Kwon, the one behind Luna, who is on the who's hiding somewhere, suddenly posted on Twitter a moon. I have absolutely no idea what he means with that. We're going to the moon, or I am at the moon, I have no idea. But that I found very strange and interesting. Another one is a big warning before we really go into the dive into the charts. Yesterday Crawl from the Moon got liquidated for the third time in a row. He had a $300,000 trade, a $1 million trade, and now a $500,000 trade that all got liquidated. So I just want to warn you, be very careful who you are following, who you are listening to. And just because he's only posting stuff when it's going very well and when he's in a profit, now he's liquidated, and I ask him, hey, where is your trade? Of course he never responds. I do that with all the trades. Hey, where is your trade? Why are you not showing anything? Why am I not talking about it? And he is just putting it under the rug and just not talking about it anymore. I find that very irresponsible, but he is forcing and pushing everyone to use his Bybit link that he gets all the affiliate money, and that's how he probably can afford a Bugatti. So definitely be careful who you're following. It all looks super simple and super easy when you listen to him, but I think if you now make these tremendous mistakes with hundreds and thousands, sometimes millions of dollars that you're losing, then you as a retail trader with maybe just a few thousand on your account will definitely get wiped out if you just blindly follow these people. Because if you think, well, he's got a nice car so he probably knows what he's doing, then that is the misperception you have on these persons. I have nothing personal against him. I just find that what he puts out is very harmful to the space, and therefore I trying to warn you. Something else that we're looking at right now for BTC is the triangle that is kind of playing out. It takes a long time. I posted and reposted it already a few times. It's like, man, this thing keeps it exciting. And we are now really at the apex. I also have here a screenshot of the short position that I opened during the dump. That one is in a very nice fat profit. I already put a stop loss in there that I will most likely take some profit if we suddenly shoot up. Okay, we are here now at the BTC USD pair on the 15 minute. Here you also see the triangle that we're talking about, and we are really coming out at the apex, which is actually very unusual. Usually that happens somewhere between 70 to 75% of completion of the pattern. So somewhere here would have made a lot of sense to have a breakout. Targets that I'm looking at is maybe something like going lower and then higher, that we have maybe a bullish divergence on the 15 or on the 12 minute. That would be nice. Or retesting these lows right here, 19,700 ish. That would be very nice. To the upside, of course, this is a very small range, don't get me wrong, but to the upside we have the tops here at approximately 20,000, 20,400 ish. What I saw at someone else's channel, and that's a very good one to mention, is that let me zoom out a little bit, maybe on the 4 hour, and then I'm going to put a volume node here. Is it here? I think so. I hope it works here too. Yeah, and that is that this area right here has a very low volume compared to the area right here. Meaning if we're getting above, so above 20,400, it is probably a swift move up to 21k-ish. Where more volume is coming in. So between 20,400 and 21,000 there's not a lot of space, and that has been proven now already multiple times. You see it here, here and here. So if we are going higher, then I expect a swift move to the upside. If we're going lower, then of course we have the value area low. That's exactly where we bounced off yesterday. Usually we go a little bit lower, but it's actually a very nice bounce that we have seen, and we have the point of control above us. I also said it earlier, earlier this week already, that I was a little bit surprised that the dump was this much. I was hoping maybe 3 or 4%, a little bit up, then I can pile up on the short, and then we're going lower. So far that didn't happen, so I'm afraid that if we bounce, we might get a bit of a stronger bounce than usual, way above maybe the 21,000, and then kind of end up at the 21,400, 21,500, 600-ish, and then maybe a reversal sign again. The 4 hour, it doesn't look all too bad. Look here at the indicator. The momentum wave is coming up. Money flow looks like it wants to go higher. RSIs are a little bit split, so they're losing strength here on the downside. So maybe to have a few green candles before we are going lower, that would be nice. If this thing really does something like this, and we are creating maybe a bullish divergence, definitely I will play it to the upside. I still of course have a target much lower to the downside, that I want to see these lows here being taken out or at least retested, and most perfectly would be of course here the 17,600 to sweep that, but we also have to be level-headed to say, hey, you know what, we already actually dumped down quite a lot here from the top, so maybe to reverse first a little bit to the upside before we going lower, that would make sense. Top to bottom 14%, so maybe to have a little bit of a bump over green day, that actually wouldn't be all too bad, but then we of course need to trade accordingly. The red dot that we yesterday talked about on the momentum wave has printed. Of course made a lot of sense after such a dump. Money flow down, VWAP down, RSI is down, so we have more downside to go. Of course I don't think we will see a reversal anytime soon, but maybe a green day or a pump in between doesn't right away change this setting to very bullish. Then on the hourly, quickly want to show you the momentum waves here. Money flow is in the red, but not like harsh down. We do have a bearish trigger wave here, VWAP down, and RSIs are a little bit split, so don't really know what to find about this. The price action right here in the, let's say, the last 24 hours, everyone was kind of waiting for the merge, shall we say, but I'm staying cautious, and like I said, I think, or I would not be surprised if we get something of a bounce before we maybe are going lower, and like I said, I really think at some point, maybe this month, maybe later on, we will dump much lower. We also still have the Fed meeting next month, who will rise the interest rates, because the inflation that came out, the CPI data, so that will all be fuel for us to go to the downside. S&P 500, will not mention it too long. I think the futures are slightly in the green or unchanged. I said it yesterday, once we reach this box, I think we will stay here for a little bit. If we are going higher, maybe we'll fill this gap, but to be honest, don't see this happen anytime soon. Again, inflation is a narrative, and therefore I think there's more downside to go, but that would be 4,100. Then I quickly want to head over to ETH, because I know everyone find that oh so amazing right now. And that is that we have a few very nice targets. If we are taking this low right here at 870-ish, and the top here at approximately 2000, then the golden pocket to the downside would be the 1300, where we also have these important support and resistance line that we had drawn out already some time ago, and there you can see that now, even months and sometimes even more than a year later, it comes into play perfectly as a support and resistance line. If we're taking the high here and then the low here, then you can see that we bounce off exactly also from that golden pocket, the 61.8, not really into the golden pocket, but we bounced off, and now we are going lower. You could say on the smaller time frame that we are kind of making the case of maybe creating a little bit something of a bear flag. If that is the case, then I would say be conservative with your target, but then you could do something like this. and then we copy paste it here, and then we end up at 1480, and I have to say that is a nice level, because if I put a support line here, look at this, then you see actually that you have quite some touch points on that 1480. This is a nice cluster. This was a touchdown almost, and this would then be the touchdown. So that is actually very nice if that would play out. Then of course further then to the downside is that really that golden pocket at 3100. If we're going higher, then I first want to see this being recaptured, 1780 to 1800, and then the highs here at $2,000. So those are then for me the most important levels to trade to. I do not actively trade this right now, but I could imagine now with the merge that it might be a little bit more volatile. Have to say, on the 4 hourly, money flow is coming down. We having a red dot with this being printed, then I do expect more follow through to the downside. We could also here again make maybe a beautiful bullish divergence, and then I would most likely play it as well. And then I hope maybe that the price target of the bear flag is being reached. That would coincide so perfectly. Don't make it any more complicated than it is. Those are then the things that I will be looking out for. Quickly on the 1 hour, what do we see here? A little bit better. Momentum waves are going higher. Also the money flow is coming up a little bit, so that is a little bit of a bullish sign. So there you can start to see that you have on the 1 hour, it doesn't look all too bad, but on the 4 hour then it looks worse. And let me see what we have on the daily. We're doing it here on the spot, people. That is nice. Yeah, a little bit indecisive. I mean, yes, of course we're coming down. Money flow here was almost equal highs. View up is higher, momentum wave is lower, RSIs are split and indecisive. So this one is a little bit tricky. I would say maybe first a little bit more downside before higher. So far, I think, by the way, for BTC, the monthly return is at the 0 line. Let's quickly have a look at that. That's going to be interesting, because usually September is very bad, and monthly is right now 0.1% in the minus. Well, usually I think the average was 7%. We looked at it the other day. I will pull up the screen another time again, but I think the average was like 7% down. So then we, in that having in mind, or in that light, then we still would have some more downwards momentum to go. But it's only the 15th. We have 2 weeks left, so anything can happen to the upside, to the downside. We're just again being prepared to both scenarios. Quick want to show you as I'm recording this. I think we're kind of breaking down, like I said, looking at this 20,000. And if that doesn't happen, then maybe here. If we maybe SFP this, so swing field pattern, then going higher, that actually would be a very nice long trade. If we're losing the 19,500, then I think it can be very bloody and can go pretty fast. Alright guys, that will be it for today. If you like this updates, although they may be a little bit chaotic, then please like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think this is useful. Also let me know what you think about Carl from the Moon. Do you think I am too negative? Am I too harsh? Am I not harsh enough? Just let me know what your thoughts are about these kinds of quote-unquote influencers in the space. Thank you guys so much. See you next one. Bye bye.